Well, here I am at sunrise o'clock, just getting ready to head off up trail 18, 17A, and then hopefully back along 17, in which case I'll be coming back down there. That's the plan. Right up on the top of there is where I should be coming back. As you can see, it's sunrise o'clock. Literally, I just got here. It's foggy as hell in Calgary. When I left Calgary, I thought, oh Christ, this is going to be a bust of a day. And I got down in here. Absolute magic. The mountains over there. That don't make for a good start. I don't know what does. Right, let me get all my gear sorted. It's trail maintenance day today. Get all my gear sorted, and we go and find out how much deadfall dropped all over winter. Quite a bit, I suspect. Now my starting point is a few hundred meters down the road that way, so I'll get all set up and head down that way. Alright, look at that for a start to the day. Yeah, see the moon up there, just about. I don't know if it'll come out in the picture there. Yeah, perfect. Down the bottom there, that's the Sheep River. But where I'm heading, I'm going to come back down that. And trust me, that's the little bit at the bottom. It's a lot steeper at the top. There's a little bit of fog over there, look, in the sun. But where I'm heading, the starting point for this trail, which is trail 18, is down here. That gate up there, see that bit there? That gate is, that's where I'll come back down. A lot of people, most people that come here, they go up that way. They go to the top, take their Instagram pictures, and then come back down again. However, there is a very nice walk around up around the top. But one of the problems is it doesn't get much use and therefore not much maintenance. So yeah, that's for a glorious start to the day though. Oh, don't get much better than that. I'll take that. Yeah. Oh. I've seen 2 vehicles already today. Yeah. I suspect by the end of the day I'll see a lot more. Right, head down that way, back to the starting point. Another nice start, eh? Right, finding this trail in true Kananaskis trail guide fashion. Right, what it says is you go across this cattle grid. There's one in the road here. But, doing all this in welly boots, by the way. Got about 10 kilometres to walk in boots, but I know up in there it gets quite muddy. So not too worried about that. Well, they've got the cattle gates open, so there's no cows up in here yet. Across there. Right, in true Kananaskis guide fashion, it says the second white post past the cattle grate, which is this one that's just coming up here. You head up the bank, and that's exactly what you're going to do. I'm going to head along here. Apologies for the shadow people, but I can't move the sun, so I can do many things in life, but moving the sun is not one of them. Right, this is the second post. So to find trail 18, just head up the bank here, and I'll show you where you turn off there in a moment. There isn't much of a pathway up there. There's nothing really to see. There's a trail, but wow, look at that. If that don't make it worthwhile, I don't know what does, eh? Look at that. Right, I'm going to head up the bank, and I'll do some more when I get to the rest of the trail. Right, when you leave the road at the second point, the second post, head up the bank, kind of walk along the top a little bit, heading, what would that be, west, and then kind of peel round into the forest. You'll come up to that gap there. You'll see a whole bunch of bones and stuff all over the ground. You'll come across this drift fence. At the moment the gate is open, so I will leave it open. And you'll come up there. That's an old road. You'll come up here, and where you're going to head is straight up the hill that way. That'll take you on the trail 18. Right, there's a power line through here, so you basically come up the hill through the drift fence, across the power line, under the power line, and then you're going to head up in that way. So one last look before I head up 18. So again, second white post past the cattle grid, work your way along the bank and kind of sweep up around to the the right there, you'll bring up, there's a gate right there. This is an old road that comes up into here. This is Trail 18. There is some flagging on here, there's some old flagging. We just added a new bit there. So just head in here, this is Trail 18. And away you go, the adventure begins. The advantage of coming this way is you end up on top of the hill that everybody wants to get onto. But it's a longer, slow walk. And it's actually a very nice walk up through here. I'll show you the way through as we go. Right, on I go. One of the good things of coming along this trail is literally a few hundred meters from when you enter the forest, on your left hand side, you'll come across this. This is why it's called East Canyon Creek, I think, East Canyon Gorge Creek. Anyway, this gorge down here, as you can see, is pretty big. Now, if you do Trail 20, there is a way you can get down and across this. Don't be tempted to go down there, because I can tell you now it drops off real sharp, and it's you don't want to be down there. If you get down in the bottom of that valley, it's almost impossible to get up the other side. There is a way that you can cross way further upstream, but don't try and cross it here. Now if you do Trail 19 and you come back along the power line, you'll actually come out at an old fence right over there on the top of the hill. I can see the red piece of the pylon wire right smack in the middle of the picture there. It's hard to see. I can see it from here. I don't know how well that will come out on the camera. But if you do 20 and come back along that way and you head down toward the road, that'll bring you out the other side of the canyon. Done that a few times. That was a really nice walk through there. And the mountain's nice, eh? It's not as much snow up there as I thought there'd be. A lot of cloud over the top of that one over there. Look at that big cloud just flopping off the top of that. Yeah, wouldn't want to be up top of there today. Right, so to get back onto the trail is literally just up through these trees. And the advantage of this trail is you can walk all day in the forest here, and chances are you ain't going to see nobody. And people you're going to see up in here is the cattle ranchers when they got cattle up in here. Other than that, you ain't going to see nobody. It's such a nice walk. And I've got my big loppers with me today, so that's what's dragging on my pack. This gets you back onto the old forest road. That's the way you came. That's where the gorge is. And this way is where you're going. Right, got to go down a little hill here in a minute, and I'll do some more up the other side. Well, that's a bitch. Just up through those trees. You can't quite see them. Excuse my French. Crap. And that is exactly the way I need to go. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. Okay, let me just go along this way a little bit, see if I can see where he went. That's not good. Might have to have a complete change of plans. He's literally just up in the trees here, I can see him. That's a big bear too. That didn't look like a black bear, that looked like a grizzly bear. Well, that sucks. Okay. Well, since this is their home, and I now know he's there, and that is a grizzly, I really don't want to disturb him or whatever. I'm just going to make some noises, going to talk on camera, make sure he's not coming this way. I do have bear spray very handy. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. That sucks, because that is exactly the way I need to go. Oh, we'll just proceed along here, just a little touch. Make some noise! This grass meadow here, yeah, he's up in there. I just saw him move, he's up in there. No, I don't think he likes me being here either. This meadow here, I have to cross this meadow and go basically straight up across the trees that way. But he is literally just up here through the trees. Yeah. Yeah. See the dark shape up there in the trees? That's him stood there looking straight at me. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. and he's not moving either, and that's exactly the way I need to go. Okay, I'm backing off. I'm out of here. You're home, Mr. Bear. I'm out of here. Yeah. Right. Oh well, it was a short trip. There goes that plan. Just gonna make sure that curiosity doesn't get the better of them. Make some noise, let them know I'm going. Gonna film this backwards because I'm going this way. So just want to make sure I'm not being followed. They are very curious animals. If they haven't seen people all year, they might be tempted to follow you to find out what you are. So we will make some noise. We are leaving. Well, that sucks. He's literally stood right in the gap where I need to go. So we will go somewhere different. Just check again. Ah, bugger. Oh well. It is their home. They live here. I don't. So time for me to leave. Right, there's a short trip. Well, that kind of sucks. I'm now back down at the road where I started. Come back down the trail. Well, that's a bit of a pain. Either way, like I just said, it's their home. This is where they live. I'm visiting them. And the bear didn't move in a different direction. It just stayed on that path. It only moved about 50 feet, 100 feet. This is where you go in here, by the way. I should put a little bit of flag in here. This is where you go in for that trail. I'll put a bit of flag in here. And it, like I say, it's their home. I'm not going to interrupt them. I'll just put some flag in here and then I'll head on my way. So, where that red flagging is, and those few trees across there, that's where you go in. That's the old road. This was a road up in here many, many years ago. Right, I'm all the way down here in the Sheep Valley, so we'll find somewhere else to go now. Right, so this is where you come in to this trail, just by here. You can come along, you can come up this bank anywhere you want. It doesn't really matter. That's the corner in the road where you park down there. So wherever is the easiest to get up and down this bank, really. There is no real easy way. So. Right, I'm going to cross down over the road, do some more from over there, I think. So my plan to go all the way around and then back down that hill over there was somewhat thwarted. Either way, whatever. I'm out in the mountains. Any time in the mountains is a good time. So let's just head up here. That's nice down through there, eh? Yeah, so when you come along that road, you'll see that post. There used to be another post. Right, you can just see on the bank, there's a bit of a taper. It goes up that bank there. That's where you're going to go up. And just in the trees, I put a bit of flagging on that tree there. That's where you're going to turn in. That's where the road goes. Yeah. So there used to be another white post. Yeah, there's one. Cattle grid's just there. There's the first post. Second post used to be right here. I suspect it probably got ploughed off in the winter. They quite often do. The snow ploughs hit them. Yeah. So, right. Got to find somewhere else to go. Now I'm down in here. I come all this way. I sure as hell ain't driving all the way home. So I will head down the road a bit. And I was quite looking forward to coming down there. You can see there's one peak right there. There's another peak behind it. That peak there looks like the top. It is not. That one way the hell up there. That is the peak. Yeah. And very nice up in there too. But I have seen on that Trail 18, I have seen a fair amount of bear crap up in there in the past. So that's obviously a route they like to use. There's no cattle up in here at the moment, so the cows tend to let you know if there's bears around. But that guy moved, but he only moved maybe 50 feet, 60 feet and stayed right on the trail. Normally if they hear a person, they're gone. They just disappear in the forest. You ain't going to see them for dust. But that one didn't. It stayed there. So had I continued on the way, basically what you're doing at that point is you're challenging the bear. And that's not an argument you're ever going to win. So don't ever do that. So that was a shame. all best made plans and all that good stuff. Yeah. But I'll tell you what though, isn't it nice being down in here? Yeah. Gates are all open, there's no cows in here. When it's cattle season they close all the gates. I've been checking regularly to make sure I'm not being followed. Generally speaking, bears don't give a crap about people, but that one didn't move off the trail, it just kind of stayed there. So who knows, this time of the year there could have been cubs around or whatever. But bear safety is number one. Don't ever mess with the bears. They'll even soon teach you who's boss. Yeah. Right. Back to the car, I guess. I guess it does save me having to walk down that bloody great hill. Yeah. I'm a great believer in life that everything happens for a reason. Great believer. No idea what that reason is, because I drove a bloody long way to get here, to get 2 kilometres up the trail. There we go. That, bear crap. That's ironic. Yeah, and that's this year's too. Yeah, and that's literally right on the side of the road. Oh well. Right, plan B. Where have I not been for some time? Haven't been up Hoffman for a while. I haven't been up Hoffman since they changed they added some zigzags up there. And I can do Hoffman without having to wear my welly boots. So maybe I'll go do that. Let me get back to the car, which is down here. Yeah, whatever the reason was, I was not supposed to go that way. And it's funny, you know, because last night when I was thinking about this trail, it's, you know, when things go through your mind and you think, you can't just kind of ignore these little voices that go through your mind. I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to have a bear encounter today, and sure enough I did. It's weird, isn't it? Always listen to those little voices. 9 times out of 10 that's not something I even think about or care about, because most of the bears, they just up and disappear. That one didn't. So there may be a good reason why it didn't. Don't know why. Could have been a kill in there, because it only moved about 50 feet. Literally, only moved about 50 feet. And it moved exactly where I needed to go. So, unfortunately, change of plans. Bugger. I was really looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to doing that trail for bloody months now. Like I say, there's a reason why I didn't. Don't know what that reason is, but either way. I'm down in one of the most spectacular valleys in this area. The trees are all lovely and green. And I sure as hell ain't walking up that side. This is the way most people go up. There's a gate just over there. And they head up there. And that looks like the top. It is not. That's one of about 3 tops before you get to the actual top. So, I will head down the road a little further. Lose my big backpack, because I won't need to carry that up. I've got a backpack full of tools. I've got loppers and saws and Christ knows what. So if I'm going to go up Hoffman, I won't need to take all that with me, because they do actually maintain that trail now. So, yeah. I will call that it for this bit of video. That was a very short introduction to Trail 18. Later in the year, I will do more. But until then, oh well, off I go. That's a bugger. I had a feeling, I knew, and it's funny, I knew I was going to bump into a bear today. I bloody knew it. Yeah, so spidey senses, always listen to your spidey senses. Right, off I go. Thank you for watching.